Hello, this is Hana Harmony, daytime bedtime Bible story. A time for everything. Time for everything. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, 1 through 8. There is a time for everything that happens in our lives. There are happy times and there are sad times. Yes, there are times. There are times when we cry and times when we laugh. There are times to hug and there are times not to hug. Yeah, there is a time to be silent and a time to speak. To speak. Yes, a little bit of everything happens in our lives. The important thing is to stay close to God all the time. Yes. So a message for King Ahaz. Isaiah chapter 7, 1 through 17, chapter 9, 2 through 7. God told the prophet Isaiah to take a message to a king named Ahaz. King Ahaz was in the family of King David. Isaiah told the king that someday God was going to send a child who would grow up to be a leader of God's people. He said that this person would be the Prince of Peace and would rule as king forever. So, yeah. Who was Isaiah talking about? Do you guess? Yeah, who was talking about Isaiah? Today we know he was talking about Jesus, God's Son. The three brave men. Daniel chapter 3, 1 through 23. Remember how God's people were captured and taken away to the country of Babylon? Yeah, the king of that country was Nebuchadnezzar. Three of these young men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, worked for King Nebuchadnezzar. But when the king wanted them to bow down and worship a golden idol, they wouldn't do it. So the king told his soldiers to put all three men into a red hot fiery furnace. So God was pleased that these young men loved him so much they would not worship the king's idol. What do you think happened next? Remember, you just guess what the next. Let's go. The extra men. There are extra one man. Yes, just catch this picture. And Daniel chapter 3, 24, 30. Guess what? The man in the furnace didn't burn up. God sent someone to protect them in the furnace. The king was surprised when he saw 4 people walking around. He told Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to come out of the furnace. Then the king made a new law. It said that no one could say anything bad about the God of their men. 3 men. These men, yeah. So God has promised to be with us no matter what happens to us. Yeah, the another new man is Jesus. Jesus always protect by ourselves. So, writing on the wall. Yeah, this is really strange things. Writing on the wall with just fingers. Daniel chapter 5, 1 through 6. Chapter 5, 1 through 26. Daniel was one of God's people who was a slave in Babylon. One night, the new king of Babylon gave a banquet. Suddenly, a hand appeared and began writing on the wall, something that no one could read it. It was very scary. Yeah, no one could read. It was very scary. So the king asked Daniel to come and tell him what it meant. Daniel said it meant that his side. Because I love this side, so that's why. But I cannot see it, so that's why I just go this way. And then God was so angry. The king asked Daniel to come and tell him what it meant. Daniel said it meant that God was angry. God was angry with the king, and the kingdom of Babylon would be divided and given to two other countries, the Medes and Persians. Medes and Persians. Mene Deger Ubarshin. Daniel always lived for God, no matter what anyone said. Let's see what happened to him. Yeah, what happened to him. Let's go. Daniel disobeys the king. Yeah. Because of Daniel disobeys the king, Daniel chapter 6, 1 through 10, Daniel prayed 3 times a day. Yeah, prayed 3 times a day. 3 times every day. Some men in the new kingdom of the Medes and Persians wanted to get rid of Daniel, so they had the new king make a rule that people could only pray to the king. If someone broke the rule, he would be thrown into the lion's den. So, but Daniel went to his house and got down on his knees and prayed to God, just as he had always done. Yeah. So Daniel knew that praying to God was more important than obeying the king's new rule, a den of hungry lions. Yeah, so that's why he just push into the lion's den. Daniel 6, chapter 6, 11 through 28, the man caught Daniel praying to God and told the king. The king was sad because he liked Daniel, but the king couldn't change the law. So Daniel was thrown into a den of hungry lions. Yeah, but wait, God sent an angel to close the mouth of the lions so they couldn't bite. In the morning, the king came to see if God had saved Daniel, and sure enough, Daniel was just fine. Yeah, Daniel was just fine. So God saved Daniel after being saved from the lions. Do you think Daniel went on praying to God 3 times a day? Yeah. Jonah runs away. Jonah chapter 1, 1 through 3. Go to Nineveh, God told a man named Jonah. Tell them to stop their evil ways. Jonah got up, but he didn't go to Nineveh. He didn't like the people of that city, so he ran away. Yeah, and go to Tarsus. Jonah went to the seashore. He got on a ship going to the opposite direction from Nineveh, Tarsus. God saw what Jonah was doing. God saw already. So God always sees what we are doing. He wants us to make good choices. Yes, a big storm. Jonah chapter 1, 4, 6. Jonah sailed away on the ship. When the ship was at sea, God sent a big storm. Waves pointed the ship. The sailors were very frightened of the storm. The captain went down into the bottom of the ship and found Jonah sleeping. Get up and pray to your God too, he said. Maybe your God will save us. Yes, your God will save us. So the captain and everyone prayed. They knew very needed help from somebody bigger than themselves. Yeah. Jonah goes overboard. Jonah 7:1-7-16. Somebody has done something to cause this storm. Let's find out who it is. The sailors said they decided the storm was Jonah's fault. You are right. I ran away from God. Jonah told them, throw me into the sea. Then it will calm down. Yeah. So, but the sailors tossed Jonah overboard. As soon as Jonah was in the water, the sea became calm. You might think that would be the end of Jonah, but it wasn't. It wasn't. Just go inside the big fish. Yeah, big fish. The Jonah 1:17 chapter 2:9. Down into the swirling water went Jonah. Then gulf. Something swallowed him. Jonah was in the stomach of a big fish. God left him there to learn something important. It took 3 days and 3 nights. Then Jonah prayed to God for help. He decided to do that God had told him to do. So it took a while for Jonah to catch on that he needed to obey God. Now, how was he going to get out of that fish? Yeah, Jonah obeys God. Jonah chapter 2 verse 10 to chapter 3:10. God had a plan. He spoke to that fish. It swam up close to the beach and split Jonah cut out of his stomach onto dry land. Right away, God said to Jonah, get up and go to the great city of Nineveh. Say what I tell you to say. This time Jonah didn't argue. He obeyed. He jumped up and went straight to Nineveh. So every time we disobey, we get in trouble. What would be a better choice? Yeah, that's the end of the Old Testament time. Thank you. I love you. And then is the New Testament next video. So I love you. See you soon. I'm so very happy. This bedtime stories will be go to all day time story, daytime. So I try to more improve reading skill and tell story with your eye contact. Yeah, thank you. Please pray for me, and I pray for you all kids and even the second language users. Thank you. Bye.